Alert! What if I told you that the most dangerous place in your house isn't the stairs, or the kitchen, or even the front porch? For millions of Americans over 60, it's the bathroom. That quiet, tiled space where you begin and end your day might be quietly stealing your balance, your safety, and your independence. Welcome to the Senior Healthcare Podcast, where science meets simplicity and real lives get real solutions. Today's episode uncovers the 5 most overlooked bathroom hazards that seniors face and the small, powerful habits that can change everything, starting tonight. We are here to guide you with warmth, experience, and hard truth, backed by medical insight and stories from people just like you.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're stepping into a space we all use every single day, often without really giving it a second thought: your bathroom. It feels so familiar, doesn't it? A private, essential part of our homes. But what if I told you that beneath that familiarity, especially as we get a little older, it can actually hide some surprising, really common risks? We're going to shine a light on those overlooked spots today, because feeling safe and confident in your own home is, it's absolutely paramount.
And that's exactly the core of our conversation today. Our aim isn't, to create any fear or worry. It's instead to truly empower you with practical knowledge. Think of it as enhancing your comfort, helping you maintain your dignity, and really safeguarding your independence right there in your own home. What's truly wonderful is that these aren't complex, expensive changes we'll be talking about. They're often simple adjustments, easily put into practice that can make a profound, life-changing difference to your safety and, frankly, your peace of mind.
So, our goal here is really straightforward. We want to dig into the most common bathroom hazards for older adults and then arm you with practical, really easy-to-implement solutions. This is a conversation designed specifically for you to help you feel not just safer, but also more confident and completely at ease in your daily routine. Let's get started. Okay, so let's imagine Marlene. She's 78 years old, and she took great pride in having a spotless bathroom. Every morning, she'd wipe down the tile, proud of its shine. She used to say a clean floor is a safe floor, But one regular Tuesday, after a nice warm shower, Marlene slipped. She didn't trip over anything. She wasn't rushing. She lost her footing on that seemingly clean, smooth tile. Suddenly, her towel fell, and so did she. Couldn't get up on her own. It was a terrifying moment for her.
That's such a common and frankly heartbreaking scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
What Marlene experienced really highlights a critical, yet often unseen danger. A seemingly clean, wet tile floor is in fact a kind of silent trap. It feels perfectly smooth, sure. But when water hits it, that smoothness can become incredibly slick, almost like ice. And think about it. Right after a shower, your skin is softer, your feet are wet, and your body is going from a warm, steamy environment to a cooler, open-air one. That shift alone can subtly affect your body's internal balancing act, making you just a little less steady. Actually, researchers in Japan, where this is a big focus, have pinpointed this precise moment. They found that the riskiest second in a bathroom often happens right after you step out of the tub or shower. It's a moment of acute vulnerability that many of us simply don't recognize.
So it's not just about seeing water on the floor. It's more subtle than that. How do we even begin to address something like that?
Absolutely. Not just about seeing it. The good news is fixing this doesn't require a major renovation or anything drastic.
Right.
The solution is remarkably simple, really.
You mentioned something about a simple 3-point safety system. Could you walk us through that?
Exactly. Yes. You can easily put this into place yourself. First, you'll want a non-slip mat placed directly outside your shower or tub. Then place a second one in front of the toilet, and a third one near the sink. Now, the absolutely crucial part here is to choose mats that have a good, solid rubber backing. They need to be very firm, and they must lie completely flat without any curling at the corners. These 3 mats create what we sometimes call islands of safety. They ensure that no matter where you step right after bathing, your feet have a secure, supported landing. It means you're never really walking directly on that slippery, wet tile.
That makes so much sense, creating those safe zones. But I know a lot of people, myself included sometimes, you might step out quickly and think, I'll just wipe up the water later. Is that a bad habit to get into?
That's a really common, seemingly harmless mistake. But it's precisely where the danger often begins. I think, I'll just quickly step out, grab my towel, and wipe it up in a minute.
Yeah.
But walking barefoot on damp tile, even for just a second or two, that's when a slip can happen so easily. So a crucial habit change to adopt, and this is really important, is this. Always try to dry off as much as possible before you step out of the shower or tub. And maybe have dry slippers or non-slip shoes waiting right nearby. This is maybe a 2-minute change to your routine that could literally save you weeks, maybe months of pain. Or even worse, the loss of your independence. Remember, doctors often tell us a single second of imbalance, especially for older adults, can lead to life-altering hip fractures. That's why protecting your floor by drying off fully and stepping onto those safe mats is so vital. It's a foundational step, really, to keeping you safe in your own home. It's a very small adjustment that pays off hugely.
Wow, that's a powerful reminder. Okay, so we've secured the floor, but what about what we instinctively reach for? I mean, I've definitely leaned on a towel rack before. Is that just as risky? Let's talk about George. For years, he never gave it a second thought. When he stepped out of the shower, he'd just instinctively place one hand on the tiled wall to steady himself. It felt completely natural, right? Even safe. But one morning, his hand slipped. Just a tiny bit, and his body started to follow. What he truly needed, what was missing, wasn't just his strength that day. It was real, unmoving support. The kind of support that doesn't budge when your balance does.
George's story illustrates a critical point, and you hit on it exactly. Relying on things like walls, sinks, or especially towel racks for support is incredibly risky. These fixtures, well, they simply aren't designed to hold a person's full weight, especially not the sudden force if you start to slip. They can easily give way right when you need them most. Think about the physics of it. The force of your body when you're falling is immense. A towel rack is made to hold, well, a towel, not a person. A slip, particularly after age 65 or so, can lead to months of difficult recovery, sometimes even a permanent change in your mobility. These aren't minor incidents we're talking about. They can profoundly impact your daily life.
Okay, so if those aren't the answer, what is? What's that small fix that truly changes everything?
It's installing a grab bar, a properly installed grab bar. It might seem like a simple addition, almost basic, but its impact on safety is just immense. Occupational therapists who specialize this sort of thing, helping people adapt their environments, they generally recommend placing these bars where your elbow naturally bends. That's usually around chest height for most people. This way, your hand finds the bar instinctively, almost without thinking about it. It becomes a natural part of your muscle memory for getting in and out. Once it's there, every shower, every step in that area, every reach becomes significantly safer. It's a kind of quiet security, but incredibly powerful for your peace of mind.
That makes so much sense. It becomes a natural extension of your body's movement, almost automatic. Do you have any practical tricks for making sure you actually use it consistently?
Absolutely. Here's a practical little trick that has helped thousands of people, even in rehabilitation settings. Use a bit of brightly colored tape, like red or yellow electrical tape, to mark exactly where your hand should naturally grasp the grab bar. It sounds a little silly at first, doesn't it? A piece of tape. But this simple visual cue actually helps train your brain and guide your reach, even if the light is low. Or maybe you're feeling a bit disoriented first thing in the morning. It's one of those small, seemingly insignificant actions that can genuinely save you from a fall. Just like George, actually. He had a grab bar installed after his scare. And he found he could shower on his own again, feeling confident with immense peace of mind. It really did make all the difference for him.
Okay, so we've made our floors safer, and we have the right kind of support with grab bars. But what happens, when the lights go out? Helen's experience perfectly illustrates these unexpected dangers of nighttime bathroom trips. It was 3:20 in the morning, apparently. Like most nights, nature called. Now, Helen didn't want to wake her husband, so she decided to skip turning on the lights. We've all done that, right? The hallway was quiet, the bathroom just a few steps away, but then one wrong move in the dim light. Her foot caught the edge of the rug, her arm missed the sink she was reaching for, and down she went. It wasn't the call of nature that was dangerous, it was the dark.
Helen's experience really highlights just how much our vision changes as we age, especially after 60. It's quite significant for many people. Your eyes take considerably longer to adjust to low light conditions compared to when you were younger. And shadows can become incredibly confusing, making familiar objects like the edge of a rug or a piece of furniture look like obstacles. And if you wear glasses, of course, this challenge can be even greater at night. Now, many people think the solution is just to flip on that bright overhead light in the bathroom or hallway. But that sudden burst of bright light can actually jolt your brain fully awake. It disrupts your body's natural sleep signals.
Yeah.
And can leave you wide-eyed for hours afterwards. So it's kind of counterproductive, both for safe nighttime navigation and for getting a good night's rest.
Right, so blasting the main light isn't the ideal solution then. What's the expert-recommended way to light your path safely at night?
Well, the experts in geriatric sleep and mobility, they have a much better solution. They suggest using low-level, motion-activated amber LED lights. These are wonderful because you can place them strategically, maybe low along the hallway floor, right near the bathroom door, or even just inside the bathroom itself near the floor. The key is that amber light, that warm orangey glow is soft, it's calming. And crucially, research shows it won't interrupt your body's natural melatonin production, your sleep hormone. This means you can see where you're going clearly enough to prevent stumbles, but you can still get back to sleep easily afterwards.
Ah, that sounds like a real game changer. A soft glow that guides you without fully waking you up. Is there anything else that helps with that nighttime journey from bed to bathroom?
Yes, there's also a simple technique, sometimes called the bathroom path. Some seniors find it incredibly helpful to place a small, soft, but non-slip mat at each key point along their usual path. So maybe one near the side of the bed where you get out, perhaps another one in the hallway, and then a third right in front of the toilet. When you combine this with that gentle amber lighting, it creates a kind of physical map that your feet can almost follow by feel, even when you're half asleep. Actually, care homes around the world have adopted variations of this method, and they've seen really dramatic reductions in nighttime falls among residents. Helen, after her fall, she transformed her routine. Her hallway now glows gently at night with those amber lights, and she even has a little reminder she put near her bed. Move slow, light the path. It's a small set of changes that brought back immense confidence for her, just knowing she's safe even in the dark.
Okay, fantastic. We've covered the floor, grab bars, and lighting. Now let's talk about something many of us might never even consider. The actual height of your toilet. Let's talk about Frank. He had no idea his toilet was actually making things harder for him. He just thought getting up from the toilet felt more difficult these days. Just old age, he'd shrug, often grabbing the sink to kind of pull himself up. But after a routine checkup, his doctor asked a surprising question. Frank, how low's your toilet seat? Turns out it wasn't necessarily Frank getting weaker, it was his bathroom environment making things much harder than they needed to be.
Frank's situation is more common than you might think, much more common. You see, most standard toilets in homes are built to a height that's actually too low for many older adults. This means that every time you sit down, or more critically, try to stand up, your knees often end up rising above the level of your hips. That uncomfortable, sort of awkward angle adds significant unnecessary pressure to your lower back and your major joints, especially your hips and knees. Over time, this seemingly small, repeated strain really builds up. It can lead to chronic hip pain, stiffness, and perhaps most dangerously, it can cause a loss of balance, precisely when you're trying to get up from that seated position, a really common time for falls. This is what we sometimes call silent strain, because the damage accrues subtly, day after day, often before you even realize what's causing the pain or the difficulty.
Wow. So it's not just about comfort at all. It's really about preventing long-term pain and potential falls. But what's the solution? Does this mean a whole bathroom remodel?
Oh, absolutely not. And that's the really good news here. This particular issue can usually be fixed without any complex or expensive remodeling. A simple raised toilet seat, which you can easily find online or at most medical supply stores, even some pharmacies, adds those crucial few inches of height. This makes the acts of sitting down and standing up much smoother, significantly safer, and far less painful or strenuous. Some models even come with built-in armrests, which give you an extra bit of leverage, an extra push when you need it. And the best part, most of these raised seats can be installed really quickly, often in under 10 minutes, usually with no tools needed. It's a quick, simple solution to a potentially big problem, providing immediate relief.
That sounds incredibly helpful and, well, pretty easy to do. So how can someone listening at home easily check if their own toilet height might be an issue for them?
Yes, we definitely encourage you to do this quick check today or next time you use the bathroom. Simply sit down on your own toilet and just observe where your knees are in relation to your hips. If your knees rise noticeably above the level of your hips when you're seated, then your body is, without a doubt, working harder than it really needs to. And this repeated silent strain can truly add up over the years. For someone over 70, let's say, saving every little ounce of effort, preserving that ease of movement, it truly matters for long-term well-being and avoiding future problems down the line. Frank, once he switched to a raised seat, especially one with the side handles, he noticed the difference almost immediately. No more awkward pulling himself up using the sink, no more shaky putties, just ease, dignity, and immense relief in his daily routine. It's truly an investment in your comfortable, independent future.
Okay, next up, let's consider Susan. She absolutely adored her bathroom decor. It had soft pastel towels, lovely lavender soap, and her favorite part, a thick, fluffy rug right in the middle of the floor that felt wonderfully warm and cozy under her feet. It felt welcoming, comforting, and she thought perfectly safe. But one morning, as she simply turned, just pivoted to grab her towel from the rack, the edge of that very same beautiful, fluffy rug folded over just slightly. Her foot caught underneath it. In a split second, she was on the floor. Her comforting, cozy bathroom had suddenly turned into chaos, and she honestly never saw it coming.
Susan's story points to a really common mistake many people, especially seniors perhaps, make when choosing bathroom accessories. We often choose bathroom rugs purely for comfort or for style, how they look, without truly considering the safety aspect. Those plush, decorative mats, while they feel nice and look appealing, they have some significant drawbacks from a safety standpoint. They tend to shift very easily on tile floors, the edges can curl up unexpectedly, and they can slide like ice skates on a smooth tile surface, even if it's dry. Even if you think you have good balance, one wrong step, one subtle shift of the rug underfoot is all it takes for a fall. In fact, physiotherapists who unfortunately see a lot of injuries from falls often consider these types of loose, fluffy rugs to be one of the most overlooked fall hazards in the entire home. They look innocent, but they can be incredibly treacherous.
That's a really scary thought, isn't it? That something designed purely for comfort could actually be so dangerous. How can someone listening check their own bathroom rugs right now?
Okay, here's a simple way you can test your own bathroom rug. Step onto it while barefoot and just try twisting your foot slightly, as if you're pivoting or turning. If that rug moves even a tiny bit under your foot, it poses a risk. It's not secure enough. Experts strongly recommend switching to mats that are firm, have a solid rubber backing that grips the floor, and have a very low pile, meaning they're not thick and fluffy. These types of mats are specifically designed to grip the floor securely and stay completely flat, even when they get dank. For an extra layer of security, some people also use things like rug corner anchors or double-sided adhesive strips underneath to hold them firmly in place, especially the corners. It's not about giving up comfort entirely. It's about choosing comfort that is also genuinely safe and, crucially, stays put.
That makes perfect sense. No more slipping and sliding rugs. Is there anything else we can learn from this about maybe how our bathroom floors should feel underfoot?
Yes, there's an interesting concept that comes partly from Japan, a country well known for focusing on its aging population. It's sometimes called creating floor transition zones. Okay. The basic idea is that every area of your home, including the bathroom, should subtly signal to your body a change in surface, primarily through touch and texture underfoot. In many modern Japanese bathrooms, for example, they often avoid those soft, loose mats altogether. Instead, they might use flat, inherently slip-resistant flooring that has a gentle, tactile texture. This way, even when your eyes aren't necessarily focused down on the floor, your feet can feel the difference in texture, and it helps guide you safely. Your feet read the floor, just like Susan, actually. After her fall, she replaced her fluffy rug with a firmer, safer mat with a good rubber backing. She now says she feels much more confident every morning, no longer feeling like she has to constantly watch every single step she takes in the bathroom. It's about feeling the ground securely, rather than guessing where the rug might shift.
Right. Feeling secure. Finally, let's talk about Gerald. Every morning, he used to just step into his bathroom like it was any other room, autopilot. But after a close call, one foot slipping unexpectedly on a bit of wet tile near the sink, he realized something fundamental had to change. Not just the layout of the room or the tools he used, but his entire approach to being in there. That's when his daughter, who happened to be a retired nurse, taught him a simple but really profound rule. She said, "Dad, bathrooms don't need to be risky. They just need a routine."
Gerald's daughter was absolutely spot on. True safety, especially in a place like the bathroom where conditions can change quickly, really comes from incorporating small, mindful habits into your daily life. It's not just about installing the right equipment, like grab bars or mats, although that's obviously very important. This is where your personal awareness and developing a consistent approach makes a huge difference. It's about transforming a potentially hazardous space into a genuinely safe zone through your actions. These are simple habits that can truly change your daily experience and significantly lower your risk.
Okay, so what are these habits? What can we start doing, maybe even today?
All right, the first one is something we call visual checks. It's very simple. Before you use the bathroom, and this is especially important first thing in the morning when you might be groggy, or during the night, just pause for, say, 60 seconds, maybe even less. Take a quick moment to simply look down. Scan the area. Is the floor wet anywhere? Are your mats lying perfectly flat, not bunched up? Is everything where it should be? Or is something out of place, like a drop bottle or a towel on the floor? This simple, mindful act helps your brain slow down just a fraction, which in turn reduces those rushed automatic movements. It actively prevents accidents before they even have a chance to start. It's just about being present and aware for a moment.
That makes so much sense. Just taking a second to look. It's like a mental reset button before you walk in. What's the second habit?
The second habit focuses on towel placement. Now, this might sound incredibly basic, but it truly matters much more than most people realize. Always try to keep your towel close to you, ideally hung at about shoulder height, and within easy arm's reach of where you get out of the shower or tub. Why is this so important? Because that quick lean or that awkward twist you might make to grab a faraway towel, that's a very common action that can instantly throw a person off balance, especially when you're wet, the floor might be damp, and you're arguably at your most vulnerable point. Having the towel right there, within easy natural reach, significantly reduces the chances of those sudden, risky movements. It takes away the need for any awkward stretch or turn while you're still wet. That's a small detail with potentially a really big impact. Okay, and what's the third habit? The third habit is something called a pre-movement breath. This is remarkably simple, but incredibly effective for stability. Just before you stand up, whether it's from the toilet or from a shower bench, or really anywhere you've been sitting down in the bathroom, take a slow, deep breath in and out. As you do that, consciously plant both your feet flat on the floor. Feel the ground beneath you, and just pause for a brief moment before you actually push yourself up to stand.
So a breath and a pause. How exactly does that help with balance when you're standing up?
That pre-movement breath, combined with planting your feet and pausing, it does something truly remarkable physiologically. It helps to center your balance. It sort of awakens your core and leg muscles, preparing them for the movement. And it gives your entire body and your brain a crucial moment to prepare for that change in position from sitting to standing. It literally helps your brain and body coordinate for that transition. This isn't just a random suggestion, by the way. It's a technique widely used in physical therapy and also in longevity programs, both in Europe and the US. It's known for its, frankly, shocking effectiveness in preventing falls related to standing up too quickly or without being properly balanced. Gerald's transformation, using these 3 simple habits, has been profound, according to his daughter. His simple routine, which takes less than 2 minutes out of his day in total, has dramatically increased his confidence and his sense of freedom in his own home. When your bathroom environment supports you, and you add these simple, mindful habits, your life just becomes easier, safer. And that's when real freedom and peace of mind begin.
So, as we bring our conversation to a close today, let's just remember this core message. Even small, thoughtful changes in your bathroom environment, and maybe more importantly, in your daily routine within that space, can lead to truly enormous gains in your safety, your confidence, and your precious independence. Feeling secure in your own home isn't a luxury. It's really a fundamental part of living well, living fully, and living without unnecessary worry hanging over you.
Absolutely, and we truly encourage you, maybe take a moment today or sometime this week to just audit your own bathroom with some of these insights fresh in your mind. Look at your mats. Are they the right kind? Consider where a grab bar might make sense. Think about your nighttime lighting. Maybe even check your toilet height. Perhaps you'll even feel comfortable sharing some of this knowledge with a friend or a family member, because what you've learned here today is incredibly valuable and could help someone else too. Taking these proactive steps now, however small they seem, is a powerful investment in your own long-term well-being and your ability to continue enjoying your life freely and confidently, right there in the comfort of your own home.
Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration today. We really hope these ideas prompt you to reflect and perhaps even discover more ways you can feel confident and secure in your everyday life. Be well and please stay safe.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Senior Healthcare Podcast. A heartfelt thank you to each one of you here with us, whether in the audience or tuning in from home. Your time is precious, and we hope today's conversation brought you clarity, confidence, and real steps you can take. Now it's your turn. What small change can you make in your bathroom this week? Will you move a towel, adjust a rug, add a light? These may seem like little things, but they hold the power to protect your freedom, your safety, and your peace of mind. Just remember, this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not medical advice, and it doesn't replace a visit to your doctor or therapist. But it can be the nudge that helps you start asking better questions, having better conversations, and living with more intention. Before you go, tell us in the comments, which of these bathroom changes surprised you the most? We read every message, and your story might just help someone else feel less alone and more prepared. And don't forget, subscribe to the Senior Healthcare Podcast and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode that could change your life or someone else's. We're here every week, bringing you care, wisdom, and tools for the journey ahead. Until next time, stay steady, stay safe, and stay strong.